One of the things that I love about being collaborative and working with others is that you always have the opportunity to learn something new. And one of the things that I'd never thought about or even questioned was decision making and the decision making process of choosing a candidate. Because I really thought, and I have done that by experience, you sit down, you come together as a group, as an interviewing panel, and you talk about the candidate and you decide. But what I realised is that this idea of consensus isn't the most equitable way. And I have to thank others who made me look at it differently, because when you sit down and take the time to assess a candidate on your own and then provide, this is where I stand, yes, a definitive yes or no, and why it's a yes or no, it's easier for you to have a clear idea as to why, rather than coming together as a group to make a decision, because you don't actually spend time thinking about the candidate fully, and it's easier to be swayed in one direction or the other when picking the candidate. You don't give the same amount of time and energy into the selection process if you know ultimately that there's 4 other people in the room and in the end it's going to be a group decision, so you're going to go with the majority. Being very clear and investing your time as an interview panelist in really understanding and being able to articulate why you were for the candidate or why you aren't for the candidate. When you go into that room, you're just more aware, you're prepared, you're really ready to engage in discussion, so that when you come to the end, even if you decide on a majority outcome, it's not because you've been converted in the process of, but rather because each panelist has taken the time to meaningfully assess whether the candidate is the right one. And that also comes back to building a criteria beforehand that each candidate can be measured against, so that it becomes a standard that you can discuss. Why do you feel they made it? Making a decision should be a time-consuming process. It should be a process that you put effort into, but that you all put effort into individually and when you come into the collective. So that was something I learned as well. Don't just go into the consensus decision-making process first, where, ultimately no one really takes responsibility because it's going to be a show of hands and eye. Put time into building the case in either which direction, and then everyone can come prepared, and the outcome will be better. Let me know what you think.